Hello, my name is Kyle Jimenez-Little, and this is my presentation on Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan was originally born with the name Temujin. Temujin grew up in the Mongolian steppe, which was like rolling hills, big green grasslands. He was definitely grew up in a very difficult upbringing. The Mongolians were kind of spread out and had different clans. Um, Temujin's father was murdered by another one of these clans when Temujin was a young age. And ever since that happened, he kind of felt like he had to fulfill the leadership position that his father had in their clan, in their tribe. Temujin actually murdered his brother at a young age. He shot his brother through the head with an arrow because his brother was hogging their food and not sharing with the rest of the family. So that's kind of like the start to his family realizing that he was different. His mom actually said that she like cursed him after he shot his brother and killed his brother, and she said she knew that he was cursed because when he was born, he came out holding a blood clot, and she thought that that meant that he was going to be evil. After Temujin murders his brother, another clan actually chases him down, and he goes on this big pursuit, and they catch him, and he is punished by them. He has to wear this thing called a cane, which goes around his head and his arms. It's a wooden board, and he wore it for I think a few days and was just really going through a hard time, wasn't able to feed himself, and eventually he escaped and found his way back to his family and got the king off. So you can tell that he went through a lot of trials and tribulations, and I think this is what made him such a tough person. He also met his wife and started to make other friends as he got older. That were people that his father knew. Lots of leaders in the Mongolian tribes, and he started to try to just make these connections so that he could become a leader and pull together an army. So Temujin joins forces with Tonghil. He is the Kariate leader, and Jamuka, who was the chief of the Jajirat clan. And they start to just attack other clans and start to conquer other clans and other forces, other leaders, and a lot of them they conquer them and they take their things, and they kill a lot of people. They start to really just kill people in order to gain territory, in order to take their supplies, and in order to even convert some of their leaders to be a part of their force. At the year 1206, Temujin grows his army to become powerful enough, and they start calling him Genghis Khan, which means universal ruler. He starts to really just build a bigger and a bigger army, conquer more territory. He starts to go after China, Beijing is conquered in 1215. Sometimes they would actually split up, and he assigned different leaders to different wars. Genghis Khan definitely had the ability to choose really great leaders under him and to just empower them to lead the group of the army that he assigned to them. One of his generals, Mukhalai, was handling the war in northern China, and Genghis Khan was defending another portion of the battle. Let's see. Go on to the next slide. While Khan's general was handling China, Khan and his army went to war with the Khwarizm Empire. I've read about this being a pretty brutal battle. I know that this is one that Genghis Khan is known for being just very ruthless, and his whole army being very ruthless. I know that they burned down entire villages of innocent people and killed a lot of people. After this battle, Genghis Khan returns to fight against the Zhai kingdom, and this is actually his last battle, and I don't believe that it was over by the time that he died. He died in 1227, and his final words were for his generals to completely wipe out the rest of the Zhai kingdom. Genghis Khan definitely did not set a good example by just being a careless person about other people. He killed over 40 million people. I mean, his army killed over 40 million people in the process of conquering all of the territory they conquered. He definitely was a strong leader and one of the strongest leaders of all time. His military tactics were very smart, and he knew what he was doing. He knew how to take charge and take leadership, and he came from a situation where he was always the underdog, and he always overcame everything that stood in his way. So that's amazing, but he was using that talent for something bad. He was using it to get power and basically just get whatever he wanted. As a Pentecostal Christian, I would say that Genghis Khan is a bad example, and we shouldn't glorify his leadership or his actions. I think that it's important for us to have integrity and have love in our hearts for other people. I think that we should care about life. We should care about people of different races and different cultures, and it's important to come together and not to fight all the time. The Bible says in Psalm 37, 1-2, "Fret not yourself because of evildoers. Be not envious of wrongdoers, for they will soon fade like the grass and wither like the green herb." So this just reminds me that God is going to take care of all of the wrong that is done here, and that we only just see a smaller picture, and he sees the whole picture, and he's going to make everything right in the end. And we can trust him through any war, any battle, any persecution, any chaos that we see here on earth.